I encourage everybody to, for the most part, for most things, I encourage everybody to try new things. Okay. I think it's important to have new experiences, go places you've never been before, find a new restaurant, try a different type of beer. Like just do whatever you can to occasionally do things that are outside of the comfort zone and outside of the norm. With that said, I can cross one thing off the list for everybody right now and save you all the time and effort of trying to eat a food, say something like goat, because I tried goat and let me tell you, it's maybe the worst thing I've ever eaten in my entire life.
Wow.
I'm going to tie this into what we talk about later with what we've been watching during quarantine, because there's a little connection there. But one day walking through the grocery store, I saw that they had a freezer section of different meats that you wouldn't find other places. Right? They had like venison, they had bison, they had all kinds of different things, caribou in there, and they had goat. And I thought, well, I've never had goat. We might as well give this a try, because if they're making goat, if it's in the grocery store, that means people have eaten this and said, yeah, we should mass produce it for other people to eat. And we can stop those assembly lines right now, because it is absolutely terrible. I don't care what you put on it. From the minute you start cooking it, 2 minutes into cooking this thing, I was like, this is the worst decision I've ever made. I didn't even eat it yet. The whole house smelled like goat. It was awful. Don't do it. You're welcome. I tried this one for all of you, and you don't need to do it.
So many questions. So many questions.
Oh God, that's amazing. But there are people who love goat though. That love goat meat.
Really?
Well,
yeah.
Well, here's
maybe where you're from, Dee Dee, in West Virginia, people like goat, but normal people do not eat this.
Well, whatever grocery store you went to that had a pet section there, Chris. I don't know. Maybe that you were too far out that way. Now, I want to clarify how the meat was prepared. Was this? I think I remember you tweeting about. Was this ground goat? Okay.
It was ground goat.
Okay.
It wasn't shredded goat. Or pulled goat.
Wasn't smoked. No.
No.
Because
you gotta smoke your goat, Chris. Smoke your goat.
I mean, yeah. I think we all know that there's a number of ways you could prepare your goat, but mine was ground.
Yeah, milk, and that's it. I've been told by some other people, I've never had goat. I'm all for like trying new things and doing that whole thing. That's one thing I just move my eyes past. Like that ain't right.
You're a smarter man than I am.
I've been told that ground goat is the worst goat you can have if there were variable type of goats. That, I don't want to call it a fillet. That just seems disgusting. This is just disgusting me just talking about this. But like goat on the bone, I guess, is the way that you're supposed to have it, where it's not ground up. That I'm gonna name my boat that goat on the bone. If you need another title for this episode, there's one that'll trend. Goat on the bone. I'm telling you, somebody told me that you need to have it goat on the bone, not ground goat. So I just wanted to share that.
Okay, if you Google best way to eat goat, the first thing that comes up, like in the Google box, it says in the slow cooker is the best way to eat goat. And yes, Chris, you did eat goat in the worst way possible.
Well,
no amount of Tony Chachere's could cover up the stank from that goat, I bet.
I tried. It did not work. And Tony Chachere's makes everything better. But Tony C could not save this meal for me.
Oh, God.
Did you expect it to be like, what did you expect? Like, this is going to be like, oh, it tastes like chicken, like everybody else says. Or is it going to be like, it's going to be a little worse than chicken, or a little fattier, or a little whatever? I just want to know what the expectations were going in. Were they low, or were they maybe a little too high?
I truthfully had no expectations. I just saw it in there and like on a whim said to my wife, Katie, I said, let's try this. She didn't try it. I tried it, and I saved her the experience of that. But yeah, I had no expectations. But like I said, within 2 minutes of this thing cooking, the way the house smelled made me want to sell the house. Like it was awful. It was awful, and it took all day to air goat out of my house. So,
Oof.
well, I'm glad to know through the brain power of the brunch breakdown that I did the worst possible option of goat. Nevertheless, I'm not going to recommend it to people, even if
Weirdest
it's
animal.
goat on the bone.
Weirdest animal you've eaten.
It's got to be goat.
Goat for you.
Wow.
I've eaten snake.
Ugh.
I've eaten snake. I've eaten alligator. Here's the thing that was disappointing is that they both did just taste like chicken. Alligator just tastes like chewy chicken. And snake just tastes like it tastes like chicken, but I feel like that's just the easy thing to say. It really didn't taste like anything. So I was disappointed. I love eating. I love eating animals. So I'm sorry if you guys are vegans on this podcast or work for PETA or whatever. Like this isn't for you. But like animals are my thing. I enjoy eating them. But like, yeah, I was disappointed by snake in that. But Dan, do you have a weird animal?
I don't have anything nearly that weird. I really don't.
Well, you should visit the pet section at the grocery store that I go to.
Yeah, maybe I'll travel into Petco and see what they have in their freezer. Yeah, I mean, this doesn't help me like be tempted to do anything like that, though. It really.
Well, you got to start. You have to do it. You have to do it a little bit.
It took me a while to even try venison. Like I know people have it and they think it's really, really good. Like that was weird for me.
Venison is so good.
So good in so many different ways.
Yeah, I had it in
jerky,
stew.
Burgers. I
had it in stew. It was pretty good. It's mentally that's where the block is, the mental block. But you know what? If I find some goat on the bone, maybe I'll be the sacrifice and I'll try that. I'll come cook it in Chris's kitchen. Don't get you wrong there.
Thanks, Dan.
Wow. Goat on the bone. Putting that on the grocery list. Everybody should.